everybody, Namaskar. Hope you all are enjoying our web series on Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, and you are thanks to all of you for your immense support, love and blessings. And in that we have completed the Great Calcutta Killings Part 2. Now today will be the Part 3 of the Great Calcutta Killings. So before moving directly to the episode, let us have an intro about it.
However, the police did not receive any specific request to hold back. So in fact, what happened by the speech of Shudavardi is that this instigated the Muslim community to start looting the shops and start vandalizing the Hindu areas just after the meeting. And it has been reported that more than 100,000 Muslims armed with brickbats and rods made of steel attacked Hindu areas across the central and north Calcutta.
A devastating riot rocked Bihar towards the end of the 1946. Between 30th of October and 7th of November, a large-scale massacre of Muslims in Bihar brought partition closer to inevitability. Severe violence broke out in Chhapra and Saran district between 25 and 28th of October. Very soon, Patna, Munger and Bhagalpur also became the sites of serious violence, begun as a reprisal for the Noakhali riot, whose death toll had been greatly overstated in immediate reports. It was difficult for authorities to deal with because it was spread out over a large area of scattered villages, and the number of casualties was impossible to establish accurately. According to a subsequent statement in the British Parliament, the death toll amounted to 5,000. The statesman estimate was between 7,500 and 10,000. Now the Congress party admitted to 2,000. Jinnah claimed that 30,000. However, by 3 November, that was 3rd of November, the official estimate put the figure of death at only 445.
Happened on the daytime of the 17th of August. But by the afternoon of 17th of August, the soldiers took control of some of the worst hit areas. But some of the slum areas and some of the areas which were outside the soldier controls witnessed huge lawlessness, rioting and violence. On the very next day, on the 18th of August, buses and trucks loaded with Hindus and Sikhs came across the road with armed ammunitions and rods made of steel.
Millions of Bengali Hindus from East Pakistan had taken refuge mainly in the city, and a number of estimations shows that around 3.2 lakh Hindus from East Pakistan had immigrated to Kolkata alone during 1946 to 1950 period. The first census shows that Hindu percentage in Kolkata had gone from 73% in 1946 to 84% in 1951 alone, a huge increment of 11% in 5 years. And at the same time, Muslim percentage had reduced from 23% in 1946 to 12% in 1951, a decline 11% at the same time.
So the skirmishes between the two communities continued for 1 week, and that around the time of 21st of August, Bengal was put under the rule of the Viceroy. 5 battalions of British troops and 4 battalions of Indian and Gurkha troops were deployed. Lord Wavell observed that if the administration wanted, they would have supplied the right amount of soldiers at the right time, and there was no reason of unavailable situations of soldiers at that point. However, that was not done, and on the 22nd of August, the riot reduced and peace came into Bengal.
Now the question is, who started riots in 1947? Systematic violence against women started in March 1947 in Rawalpindi district, where Sikh women were targeted by Muslim mobs. Violence was also perpetrated on an organized basis, with Pathans taking Hindu and Sikh women from refugee trains, while one observer witnessed armed Sikhs periodically dragging Muslim women.
So if you look into the time period between the 16th of August 1946 till the 22nd of August 1946, thousands of people were killed. Most of them were Hindus, and it was instigated by the speech of one of the leaders who was present at 2 p.m. in the great and one of the biggest rally in Bengal, that is on the 16th of August, Octorlani Monument, 2 p.m. And the violence started just after that, though the happenings were taking place in and around the time of 10 o'clock in the morning, according to the headquarters of Lal Bazar. And this violence started from the Hindu-dominated areas where Hindus are powerful in terms of money and status. Thousands of people were massacred after the meeting which happened at 2 p.m. on the 16th. The speech was deliberate by Khwaja and also the Chief Minister Surabardi. So the speech was like a peaceful rally, but it was instigated by some words which said that Muslims were trying to self-defend themselves, which was not the scenario. On the 17th of August, the worst affected areas were taken care of by the army, and even after the army has taken care of those areas, some other areas like the slum areas were observing the looting and the violence. And ultimately on the 21st of August, Viceroy rule was imposed, army was deployed, 5 battalions of British, 4 battalions of Indian and Gurkha regiments. If I go by one of the observers, it was told that there was ample amount of army possible deployment at that point of time, which was not done. And this somehow shows an indirect way to instigate the violence. We shall come across to more of these situations in our next episodes. Do watch our Facebook page, that is Shyama Prasad Enlightenment Federation. and our YouTube channel, that is the National Icon. We are trying to expose the real history of Bengal in and across the time of independence.